Joining me on the Newstrack at this moment from Brisbane, Australia, Sunil Gavaskar. We have Kirti Azad, we have the Turbinator, Harbhajan Singh, and we have MS Shelja, Washington Sundar's sister. And what a performance it's been by Team India. I want to go across to Sunil Gavaskar first because many of the Australian cricketers like Ricky Ponting, Michael Clarke were saying that, this is going to be a 4-0 brown wash. How are they going to perform? Virat Kohli is not there. He's having a baby. There was lots of pot shots exchanged about that. You were the one who came on India today and said this is likely to be a 2-1 series victory for India. And that's exactly what this has turned out to be. You've seen big moments in Indian cricket, highs and lows. In the annals of Indian cricketing history, Mr. Gavaskar, where would you rate this series win?
It is a very, very good win, no question about it, because for a team that has been knocked out for 36, to pick themselves up like this Indian team did, to show the resilience and resoluteness that they did in Sydney, and then to show the inventiveness, the innovativeness, the boldness that they showed in this test win on a wearing pitch of the 4th and 5th day. It's a remarkable, remarkable win. So this has got to rank among the best wins that Indian cricket has had.
This was a typical team victory because there wasn't one Gavaskar or one Sachin Tendulkar leading the team. You had Shubman Gill at the top, young player coming in, rock solid. What a fantastic contribution he made. You had Ajinkya Rahane stepping in as captain and really rising to the occasion and lifting the team with him. And then you had Cheteshwar Pujara taking one hitter after another, standing tall, standing strong. And then Rishabh Pant, he's been criticized so often for giving up his wicket. Here he was, fighting it out till the end and taking the team through.
Well, Shubman Gill, we've known about him for quite a while. It was just a matter of time before he came good. And sometimes it's actually good to be able to spend a little time in the reserves before you make your test debut, because then you get to observe what test cricket is. You get to experience the dressing room and the change room atmosphere. You get to see your champions, your own team champions, how they prepare for the game. And then you learn from that. You get the experience, and he was ready. When he was picked for the test at Melbourne, he was absolutely ready. He played some crisp shots, remained unbeaten in the second innings, got a very good 45 in the first. And, you could clearly see that this man's something special. And so it was no surprise that, he played this wonderful innings today. As far as Ajinkya Rahane is concerned also, he came in with intent. He came in because he knew at that stage that he had to, the game, the momentum that Shubman Gill had given to the team had to be kept up, and he did that. And then, of course, Rishabh Pant, the way he came in and batted, and he batted responsibly because you saw he wasn't trying to just slog just like that. He saw at Sydney when Nathan Lyon had floated one outside the off stump, and he tried to hit him against the turn, straight, slice it up. This time he was taking his front foot outside and then deliberately hitting him to the vacant leg side field, less risk and more reward. But above all of them, we will remember them because of the sparkling stroke play that we saw from them. But above all, I think it is Pujara, the rock. Because he was the one with his solidity, with certainty. He was the one who gave the players at the other end, the batsmen at the other end, the stroke players at the other end, the confidence. You please go ahead and play your shots and get the runs. I will hold the fort at one end. Look at the blows he took for India. He was ready to lay his life down for India. So for even 1 second ever think that his contribution was not there. All these glamorous shots that we saw, fantastic. Everything I pleased him, but do not forget Cheteshwar Pujara's contribution.
Oh, most certainly, because he's the one who held this innings together.
India would have been able to
and laid the foundation on which the team ended up winning. But what about Ajinkya Rahane's captaincy? He seems to have united the team, seems to have brought out the best in each player. making them strong, resilient. And what do you think Virat Kohli needs to learn from this? And also a word about Ravi Shastri, who came in for so much criticism for his hands-off kind of approach. But in the end, we've seen this team come together like never before under Rahane.
Well, I think, look, you grow as a cricketer. You grow as a cricketer by observing and learning from not just your teammates, but even from the opposition. And I think that's what defines all the wonderful, great cricketers that this game has seen, who are not, you have to be in a cocoon while you're in the game. But at the same time, you're observing others, observing all the other champions and learning from them. And I'm pretty certain, because what we have seen in Virat Kohli, the improvement that he has shown in his batting from when he began his international career to what he's become now as a batsman, he's a champion batsman. A wonderful batsman, and he's a top captain as well. And what he will have learned from this is something that he will know. Because Ajinkya Rahane better than anybody else. He spent so much time with Ajinkya Rahane, and he will be able to pick his praise, when they get together for the series against England. And therefore, he would have seen things, sitting, at home. It's a different perspective. When you're sitting in the change room, there's the tension, there's the worry, what is happening. So you're maybe not thinking very clearly and clearly. But sitting at home and being able to see what's been happening, you get a perspective as to what needs to be done to get his captaincy also. He's a very good captain with the results that we've seen from him. So I think all in all, this is just going to be a plus as far as India is concerned.
Kirti Azad, cricketing fans can't stop beaming at the nature of this victory. They had people biting their nails off because it came, are we going for a win? Are we playing for a draw? Can we pull this off? Could we still lose? There was just so many thoughts going through my head. What was going through yours as you were watching this historic match?
Well, I was reading a lot of the social media where people were saying, well, the score is too much for India to really score. And I said, those who are fans, they basically gave a verdict before the end of the game. And a true professional or sportsman is a person who goes till the end of the game, till he gets a result. And I'll tell you, I was ecstatic the way they played. I had full confidence in these guys. They were like these a pride of lion cubs, telling the seniors in the team that they have matured enough to go in for a kill, for a hunt. And the kind of enthusiasm, the spirit of going in and wanting to prove a point was exactly what they did. You had these bowlers who had total experience of 7 test matches, some extent. Even Marcus Levushant, he has bowled more and taken more wickets than these guys and has more experience. But then they came in, they did so well. You have a Shubman Gill who came in, attacked, and the best I liked was when I saw Washington Sundar hitting the best bowler, top bowler in the world, Pat Cummins, for a beautiful 6 over square leg. So, you saw a beautiful team, and I'm very happy that the future of Indian cricket is in safe hands.
What do you make of the fact that 5 of these are debutants? They have hardly a handful of test as experience, and yet they seem ready for the biggest stage, Kirti Azad. That's unbelievable. Usually, it takes many seasons to groom a cricketer to bring him to a level where he's able to deliver his best at the highest level in world cricket. Here you've got people, one guy was a net bowler. He wasn't even supposed to be a proper player in the playing 11. He gets a chance and he comes out and it almost seems as if he's made for the job.
Well, this is it. I mean, people are now hungry. They've played so much of cricket. They played the IPL. They toured the India A team, except for, I think, Shardul and I think Sundar has never gone in on India A tour. But they carry on playing against each other. You have the best top teams coming here. They learn a lot of things from each other. But the best part is that what I like is the fighting spirit. They don't give it up. And that is what we saw. I mean, Shardul and Washington in the first inning, circumstances, you're about 180 for 5 or 6 down, and these two come there and give you 100 in partnership. That was basically the foundation they made that, yes, we can go for a kill and win this game. You had a beautiful Shiraz spell taking 5 wickets. Natarajan swinging those left-arm swingers out, the out-swingers to the left-handers. And Washington Sundar coming in, picking up 3 wickets. Shubman Gill with that brilliant 91. I think they just came in and showed the seniors that yes, we are capable and we're going to hunt with you. And be careful, we might push you for your place in the side.
And that's good competition to have. India's epic victory at Brisbane heralds a new dawn for the sport in the country. A era with youngsters stepping in to engineer one of the most remarkable series wins ever. Shubman Gill, Rishabh, Pant, Mohammad Siraj, Washington Sundar, the list goes on and on. History will remember this win. History will remember these youngsters as well.
Wonderful moment. Here he comes now. Much deserved.
It's the dawn of a new era.
You could not stop one of the greatest spectacles you will see in life. You cannot stop sport.
This Team India has scripted its own fate.
A series that was alive right till the end. Your two teams looking at each other eye to eye.
Heroes have emerged and names have been immortalized.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Unbelievable cricket. Unbelievable cricket.
Rishabh Pant, for the majority of his career, has had to face a lot of criticism for doing injustice to his talent. But the left-hander has come of age and his temperament was on full display in this epic chase to breach Australia's fortress.
Crunched. Rishabh Pant. Still determined as ever.
Team management always backs me and tell me that you are a match winner and you always have to go and win the match for the team. That's the only thing I keep on thinking every day, that I want to win matches for India, and I'm happy that I did it today.
Mohammad Siraj was battling an ordeal every day.
There's a third man there and rightly placed.
The speedster lost his father even before the Test series began, but he stayed back to watch his teammates suffer injuries after injuries and then those racial bobs. How he responded was a story in itself as he picked up a 5-wicket haul.
The emergence of a young Indian bowler who's had quite an impact on this series.
Oh, he's gone for it. He's thrown his bat at it. The young man first bounce for 4.
Shubman Gill has also announced that he is here to stay and not the next big thing, but he already seems to be the big thing in Indian cricket.
Takes it on again. There's men back, but he's really got a hold of that. Shubman Gill making a huge statement here. Maybe they're not looking only at the overs harsh.
Defiance. Oh, that's up in the air, and I think that's gone all the way. It has. Washington Sundar has done it.
Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur, T. Natarajan and Hanuma Vihari were the other young architects of this famous series win that may define the next era of Indian cricket.
Gets a single, so Rishabh Pant will retain strike. And he's gone back for the second. That's a 4! What a surprise is that? We are wondering about 1 or 2. It's a 4!
Sports Bureau, India Today.
The Indian players will be on the field. What a result this is.
The smiles on those faces, and those are the smiles which are just not wearing off the face of any Indian fan either. Harbhajan Singh, you've been part of some tough fights down under. How does this series and the victory in Brisbane compare with all of what you've seen between India and Australia over the last 2 decades?
Well, this is absolutely brilliant. Where would I rate this victory? Obviously very, very, very high. Because this is a very, very special victory. You know, half of the team, they were injured. Most of the senior players were not part of this series because some had to come home. Some of them, they got injured. And the way the team India took those challenges, and the young Indian team took those challenges and showed, you know, this is how it's done. Absolutely brilliant to watch, and it shows that Indian cricket is there to rule, and all these cricketers, Rishabh Pant, Shubman Gill, Siraj and many other, you know, they have showed, you know, what they are made of, and I'm really happy to see the growth of Indian cricket, and very well done Team India. Ajinkya Rahane, you guys have been fabulous, and thank you very much for making us all really proud, for doing what you have done in Australia.
We had, Bhaji, half main lineup injured. There were racial abuses hurled by Aussie fans, sledging by the Australian team, and we lose in Adelaide 36 all out, and everybody's thinking the series is going to be a disaster. From there, you know, how remarkable was this win?
Well, yes, most certainly, you know, they showed a lot of character on the field. They have been abused, and there are a lot of injuries happened during this whole tour, and captain had to come home for his other commitments, and apart from all that, I think the way Ajinkya Rahane and everyone in the team, the way they have took the responsibility and played the way they know they can play, and showed a lot of character out there. So this is a big moment for Indian cricket, and everybody should celebrate this victory, because this is a very special victory and a big victory.
What did you make of Rishabh Pant's performance? A lot has been said about his talent, but yet he'd always flatter to deceive. He's been called a match winner many times before this, but this is the biggest occasion. He's actually been able to win the match for the team.
Well, Rishabh Pant is a special talent. We all knew it from the day one. Obviously, on the last tour, when he was playing his last inning in Sydney, he showed what he can do, and he scored a brilliant 100 there, and he became the first Indian wicket keeper to achieve that feat. And on this tour, he was left out of the one-day squad and the T20 squad, and not playing the first test match showed that he must have gone through a lot. Management, I feel they could have handled a talent like Rishabh Pant in a better way, but he didn't let anything affect him, and when he walked into the side, he looked like he wanted to prove a point that he's the number one wicketkeeper batsman for Team India, and he showed throughout the inning what he can bring onto the table. 97 in the draw test match was a very important one. You take that inning away, I think India would have been on the losing side. And today, what he's done, it was a phenomenal inning. This inning will obviously boost his confidence going forward. All the other innings came in a draw, but this inning, when you win a game and play an inning like this, this will be remembered as one of those great innings. And anyone, for a cricketer, you always have those moments, and this is probably that moment Rishabh Pant was waiting for, and this has happened to him. And from here onwards, you'll see a different Rishabh Pant, more matured Rishabh Pant, going out there and playing his game and winning many more games for Team India from here onwards.
MS Shelja is Washington Sundar's sister. She's also a first-class cricketer herself. And what was going through your head and heart, Shelja, as a fan, as a cricket player yourself, as Sundar's sister, when you're watching this match, tense as it was, going down to the wire against the mightiest bowling attack in the world? Describe what was going through your mind.
Yeah, like you correctly said, it was a roller coaster game, and I think I really liked the way India fought back every time they were put under pressure, and they really showed a lot of character throughout the game, and I think that made it possible for India to win the series, in fact. So like you see, there were about 5 debutants who played this particular test match, and it's not easy to come out and show the character that they did, and go on to win this series. Kudos to the whole Indian team and their management for making sure that they did their best to win a series in Australia, against Australia. I mean, Australia has the best bowling attack, and being able to manage that and being able to handle their aggression and come out victoriously is indeed a very big thing.
What was remarkable about Washington Sundar was that while he was making his debut, he along with Shardul Thakur put out a 123-run stand in the first innings, which is what set up the prospects for India in this match. Without that innings, we may have been, the gap would have been so much that it would have been very difficult to come back in the fourth innings. 5 debutants, just look at the way they stood up in the biggest stage in world cricket under the maximum pressure that's possible, and yet took 1.3 billion people to victory.
I think they made it possible. I mean, like you said, it was fantastic. The way Washington and Shardul played in the first innings really set up the match, like you said. And it was wonderful to see them play, because none of them really expected that they would probably put up such a huge partnership. I personally know the way Washington plays, so I had the belief that he'll pull off that difficult situation and make it easy for India. But I think that partnership with Shardul was very, very crucial, and I really enjoyed the way Shardul also played. I mean, some lovely shots to watch, and amazing. It didn't look like he was a bowler, a bowling all rounder, and he really played some fantastic shots. And the way Washington played, the way he faced the bowlers, the world's best pace attack. And spin with Nathan Lyon as well. The way Washi played was formidable, and it didn't look like a debutant was playing his first innings at all. And I thoroughly enjoyed that particular partnership, and I think that really turned the game for India, and they went on to win this game. So happy.
You've seen Washington Sundar growing up, his formative years, the stealing of this young man. What is it about his upbringing, about his character that enabled him to avoid any sort of nerves and stay firm when the world's most dangerous attack was coming piping in, wanting to get his wicket?
Well, I think Washington's life has always been around cricket. Right from his childhood, he's always watched a lot of cricket on television, as well as he loves to play the game alongside and against boys elder than his age. So I think over the years he's really learned a lot, and he's been able to adapt to tougher conditions and a lot more difficult situations, and that was kind of evident in the way that he approached the game in the first innings as well as in the second innings, where in the second innings we needed some quick runs in a very limited number of overs, and the partnership with Rishabh Pant was very crucial. The 50-run partnership, 50+ runs partnership was very crucial in helping India win the game. So over the years, the way he's prepared, I think he always makes sure that he's well prepared before every game, no matter what game, what level he plays, irrespective of the level, the representation that he makes. He's always prepared, and I think that the work ethics that he has is very crucial in kind of having such a successful career so far.
It was a fairy tale for Team India on this tour of Australia. They bounced back each time they found themselves cornered and kicked. But for someone like Mohammad Siraj, it was a mixed bag of emotions. He lost his father during the tour, was subjected to racial barbs from the crowd, but like a true champion, he came back triumphant in the end.
Indian fielders Siraj and Bumrah complained about said by a section of the crowd. Problem on the boundary when Singh was...
Mohammad Siraj has seen it all. In a matter of few weeks, Siraj has gone through a sea of emotions. The last test of the tour is a fitting reward for the young Hyderabad paceman who claimed his maiden 5-wicket haul to become one of the architects of India's most famous victory. For him, every day was an ordeal on this tour of Australia. He lost his father, but then he chose to stay back to fulfill his late father's dream.
Test cricket represent करना मेरे father का dream था. Like he always wanted him to to represent India in Test cricket. पिछले हम लोग का जो एक महीना जो गुजरा हम लोग का बहुत tough था, बहुत हम लोग का atmosphere जो घर में था बहुत ही गमगीन था, but ये जो सिराज की performance हम लोग के घर में एक change आया.
Even as the national anthem was played, tears trickled down his cheeks, and he knew what it meant to him, his family, and his late father.
जैसे डैड की ख्वाहिश थी कि मैं इंडिया के लिए खेलना, मेरे बेटे का मैच पूरी दुनिया देखना, तो काश वो आज मेरे साथ रहते तो वो बहुत ही खुश रहते थे. बट उनकी दुआ थी जो आज मैं 5 विकेट लिया. मैं बहुत मतलब स्पीचलेस हूँ मैं ये परफॉर्मेंस के बारे में, मतलब कुछ बोल नहीं सकता.
The young speedster from the narrow lanes of Hyderabad had emerged like a true hero to conquer Australia's fortress in Brisbane.
He used to play in this gully cricket, but he always wanted to play for country, for nation, and now today he has achieved. And he had in fact made a history, and today all are praising Mohammad Siraj. From very humble background to becoming a star, a superstar, super cricketing star. This is the journey of Mohammad Siraj.
Siraj's father, an auto rickshaw driver, would try his best to make ends meet for his family and also fulfill his son's dream, who would travel to the Eidgah Maidan to hone his skills.
ज़्यादा फोकस था क्रिकेट पे, ज़्यादा बॉलिंग पे थोड़ा उनको इंटरेस्ट था. घर में भी गुस्सा करते थे, लेकिन उनके वालिद साहब थोड़ा अच्छा था उनके साथ, तो थोड़ा सपोर्ट करते थे. समझो आज उनकी वजह से आज प्राउड मोमेंट है इंडिया के लिए सब.
तो वो जब आईपीएल में सिलेक्ट हुए थे, मैं पूछा उनको क्या सिराज क्या है, बोलता मैं बोला था ना भाई आपको एक दिन क्रिकेटर बनूंगा, तो बात उन्होंने मेरे को याद दिलाए थे आईपीएल के बाद.
Siraj today is a success story, but on his way up, the young man has made many sacrifices. But that's how fairy tales are. With Ashish Pandey in Hyderabad, Sports Bureau, India Today.
Harbhajan Singh, what did you make of Mohammad Siraj's performance? He just about gets an opportunity to come in at the beginning of the series, from there to leading our pace attack, and suddenly he's our main bowler.
Siraj, who performed so well despite of going all the troubles he had on the field, and he lost his father, and he showed, nothing will matter to him. He's there to do the job for Team India, and that's what is more satisfying for anyone, for a cricketer to go out there and get the right result. And Siraj, very well done. So proud of you, what you have gone through, but what you have achieved is obviously story, and of course a lot of people will remember you for this whole Australian tour. But I wish you all the very best to continue to play for India and make us all proud the way you have done on this tour.
This is a great problem to have when you've just won a big series, but it's a problem nonetheless, Mr. Gavaskar. You've got players who were injured who are now coming back. Jasprit Bumrah will be back, Ishant Sharma will be back. You've also got these youngsters who've stepped up and shown that they're ready to go. How do you, we've just seen the England team be announced, but how do you decide who you make your final 11? Because you've just got all these fabulously talented young players who are now all set, and they've performed and they've helped us win one of our greatest wins ever.
Yes, I think it's a very good, problem for the selectors. It's not a problem because when you sometimes have too many people to choose from, that's actually a bit of a relief, because even if you choose somebody who's not in form and then somebody gets replaced, you've got enough players to choose from. What this also does, it also tells, players who think sometimes can get complacent, think their place is there for sure. They will also be on their toes all the time. They know that if they don't score or don't take wickets, they'll be out of the team. But hey, that is for the selection committee. They are getting paid truckloads of money to be able to do the selection. Right now, all I can say to you is that I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon and I'm still in orbit.
Kirti Azad, if all the players who we've seen, the ones who feature in the regular Indian 11 and the ones we've just debuted in Australia are available, and if you were chief selector, how would you be deciding who to play currently and who to leave out?
Yeah, very difficult. Absolutely difficult what to do with Virat Kohli coming back in the side. They've already announced the team for the two.
No, so let's start from the top. Let's start from the top, Kirti. If you're to pick openers, who according to you at this moment would be the two top openers for you?
Well, to be very honest with you, the ones who are opening now at the moment, Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill.
Okay, who do you have coming in at one down, at three?
Pujara, obviously, he's the fulcrum.
And then four, so you have Kohli there once he's back.
Correct, Kohli.
Five, Rahane. Then six. That's
Pant or Hardik Pandya, maybe. So it will be 6 and 7.
Okay, so 6 and 7. Pandya and Rishabh Pant. Then 8.
Well, we have Bumrah is back in the side. So you have a Bumrah, you have a Siraj, you have Washington Sundar if Ashwin is not unwell.
No, so I'm saying imagine for the moment that all of them are well and available.
Shardul, oh my God. Oh my God.
So you've reached till Pandya and you've reached till Pant. So that's 6 and 7. You still have 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 more players. Take your pick.
Well, since you don't have a Ravindra Jadeja, you need a good all-rounder. So you can have a Shardul in the side. You can have a Washington Sundar there. He's performed really well. You have a Siraj in the side. And a Bumrah.
So you're leaving out Nishant Sharma, you're leaving out Umesh Yadav, Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Well, Nishant hasn't played for a long time. Sure. He has not played even domestic cricket. He has not played. He'll be rusty, I'm sure. Umesh Yadav again was injured, so it takes time for you, basically fast bowlers, to recuperate. So I think those in form should be pushed in, and you just can't let them play one game, do well, and then say, okay, sit out because the seniors are coming. With no disrespect to the seniors who've not been there because of injury or because of other calls, family calls or whatever. But I feel that it's always good. Once somebody's performed well, we should encourage them. As long as you're performing well, you should be there in the side.
Shelja, most of our frontline pacers and spinners weren't playing in the Brisbane match, but once the likes of Ashwin, Jadeja come back, does that, it inevitably means life becomes tougher for Sundar, or does it?
I wouldn't say so. I think given the chance, he's performed really well. So I'm sure all eyes will be on the likes of Washington, not just Washington, say Natarajan, Siraj, Shardul Thakur. They've all been able to perform when given the chance. So I think now it's going to be a lot more difficult even for the experienced players when they come back, and the selection is going to be a lot more tougher for the selection committee. But these guys are just doing their job, and I think it's upon the selection committee to make tougher decisions, and I'm sure when somebody is making such performances, when somebody is able to perform so beautifully with so much of grit and determination in a debut game, in his second game, and sorts in a foreign country against a foreign attack, I think I don't think why somebody would say no to such talents in future.
Is this Harbhajan Singh, according to you, the dawn of a new era in Indian cricket?
Yes, most certainly. I feel this is the dawn of a new cricketing era for Indian cricket. I think these guys have showed, what they can bring on the table. Someone like Shubman Gill, Washington Sundar, he played his first game and he scored those important runs in the first inning. Someone like Shardul Thakur, not to forget, his contribution in this game and in this series, absolutely brilliant. First inning, Washington Sundar and Shardul Thakur, the way they batted, collected those 100 odd runs for that partnership was a brilliant thing to see, and that actually gave a lot of momentum going forward in this game. And actually I can say this is a new era have started for Indian cricket. Guys like Rishabh, Pant, Shubman Gill, Shardul Thakur, Washington Sundar, and many other who played in this first series, their debut series. Someone like Natarajan, they have a lot to look forward, and I wish them all the luck, and I hope they have a great career ahead, and a lot depend on them, how they continue to work hard from here onwards and continue to shine for Team India and for themselves from here onwards.
Mr. Sunil Gavaskar, Kirti Azad, Harbhajan Singh and MS Sandhya for joining me on a day when we're celebrating one of the greatest Indian victories ever. I had tears in my eyes this morning. And I'm not being overly dramatic, that's just the emotion that came out when you saw this team who you didn't think had much of an opportunity, given that 5 players were debutants. You're up against the best team in their backyard, and you end up not just chasing one of the highest totals in the 4th innings, you do it with the kind of style and panache that Rishabh Pant, Shubman Gill and Cheteshwar Pujara displayed. Hats off, what a match. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.